Rush Duel is a fast-paced spin-off game of Yu-Gi-Oh! Where you can summon as many monsters as you want and draw up to 5 cards each turn. In this series, me and the TheDrAlex progress through each Rush Duel product release and build decks with whatever cards were available at that time. We have been drafting characters from the Yu-Gi-Oh! 7's anime and have exclusive access to those characters' boss monsters, and will continue to draft characters from the Yu-Gi-Oh! Go Rush series. Join us as we continue to battle it out in this series, Rush Duel Character Draft. So this is the deck we're bringing to today's game, and this is Cats. We have one new boss monster in Stray Cat Ace Nyan Buster. This is made using Cat Claw Girl and Dark Breakstar Cat, which are both level 7 monsters, so you'd expect quite a big payoff. But this card only has 3000 attack, which is a little bit weak, and has a continuous effect that it gains attack equal to the number of defense position monsters in your opponent's field times 800. So that's going to cap out at 24, so we can go up to 5400 attack with Piercing, which is it's fine. It's not bad. I would just expect more from fusing 2 level 7 monsters, which is... The only other new card we have is Rainbow Eye Star Cat, which is a little bit awkward and can get you high-level monsters to your hand. Now, I'd rather they were summoned to the field. Maybe that would be a little bit too strong. Being able to get a level 7 monsters to our hand can be okay. I think we'd rather just get back Cat Claw, use Cat Claw to bring back Breakstar or one of our other fusion materials, and then make a fusion play. Now, this deck is quite old at this point, and I'm not sure it's really going to hold up. Generally, the fusion-style decks that still use fusion instead of their own in-archetype fusion card are a little bit weaker unless they have a ton of cards that just let them have free access to it. We don't really have that. We do still have 3 copies of Stray Force, but I feel like there are more and more archetypes coming out, like Fish, and like Alex's Hybrid Drive deck that you played last week that have a lot of protection from destruction, so I don't even know how good that's going to be. So we're not feeling like super confident. Now, one thing we could do is try and stick a load of more modern cards in, like the Shady, like the Sunset Rebirth, like the Jest of the Cosmos Princess, but we want to still make this feel like a cat deck, as well as the fact there are a lot of spell traps that are kind of needed in here. We could probably get rid of the Rage of the Wild Beasts and just replace them with Jest of the Cosmos Princess, but I think we're just going to play Rage of the Wild Beasts. I don't want to just have this series become we just play all the staples all the time, so we're going to go with that. But like we said, we're not feeling super confident. Let's just hope that Alex is on something of an equal power level. But let's fire into the game and see what Alex has got for us. So last week we had Berry Fresh versus Hybrid Drive, which was reasonably an okay matchup. Berry Fresh, I think, really did show how much potential it has. And if we get any more Berry Fresh cards going forward, that deck could get even more destructive. I think it's very unassuming at first, because obviously a lot of the monsters are very weak, they have very low attack points, but when the deck does get going, it does seem like a bit of a powerhouse. And then Hybrid Drive is a weird deck. I don't actually think Hybrid Drive is really seeing much competitive success at the moment, but their new boss monster does seem very strong, giving your monsters protection in a similar way to what the fish monster does, was Kuni Tuna, giving all the fish protection. And then also getting Piercing. And Piercing is just, in general, a good effect, right? And I think we're starting to see more and more Piercing effects come through. But for this week, we basically don't have any new product. It's getting a little bit thin on deck choices. I think you're probably... I mean, I think I've said this for a while. I think you're going to be in some sort of dragon deck this week. I don't know which one that's going to be, because we still, again, have the Meteor Swarm Entry Dragon, which is kind of the Red Eyes type deck. And there's also still the Twin Dragon of Heavens, which was a prize card, which is just like a normal dragon. So I could just see you bringing back like 5 God Dragon deck using the Dragon Tribe Fusion. There's probably a few other cards that I'm completely forgetting about, but they're the ones that like stand out to me. You got any idea what you think I'm going to be on?
No, not anymore.
Yeah, it gets a little bit tricky. So I have basically one obvious choice left, but it doesn't have any... I think... Wow. It might have a new boss monster. I don't know when this boss monster came out. I'll have to double check in a bit. But let's fire on in and see what we're both on.
Oh, yeah.
Alright, we will go first. This hand is fine, I guess. We will set, and then we will set 3 back row and pass the turn. Full set. Okay. Can we do anything funky here? So I'm going to set a monster. Then I'm going to tribute 2 and summon out Dark Eyes Breakstar Cat. So, you know, this guy is fine. I can send top 2 cards of my deck to the graveyard. If this card attacks defensive monster this turn, I get to inflict piercing damage. And or if I activated this during the main phase that it was normal summoned, I can destroy a face at level 7 or 8 monster on your field. Wow, unfortunately you don't have any of those, but I can still mill 2. And we mill 2 normal monsters, which I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, you know. Then we will normal summon out my Astro Biodrake. It was just a nice little 1300 attacker. We'll flip up our Golden Eyes Starcat. Then we will go straight to battle. And I think we're just not going to get greedy here. We'll just try and attack with the 22. Well, it had piercing anyway, but I was always going to attack with that even if it didn't have piercing.
Yeah.
We will then swing in for another 28 and then pass. So I believe there was a delay. I don't know if it was something just not worth using or not. Yep. Ship us up. Oh, okay, okay. So we are on the Wind Psychics. Wind Psychic is a bit of a weird deck. I feel like it's had little stints of like being kind of cool, but overall, I don't think I've been too impressed with it. I think a big part of that is that equip spells, I feel like either just win you the game on the spot, or they do very little.
Yeah.
Wait a minute, that's not a Wind Psychic. Grab back the Plandolin, pay 100 life points, excavate the top 3 cards of your deck. You can add up to 2 Excavate Fusion and or Psyquip Fusion. So Robberim comes down. Bandijo. So during the turn, you normal summon this card, pay 1000 life points, add 1 level 2 or lower Psychic type normal monster from your graveyard to your hand. Then this card gains attack equal to the total number of cards in both players' hands. Yeah, I don't think there's really much I could do about that. But
I'm
if I
a
guess...
little low on life points to be using that for.
what's the worst that can happen? I mean, you don't need to use it, right? You can attack over my whole board with just it. Pay 1000 life points, add an equip spell from your graveyard to your hand, gain 400 attack. Now, do you have any equip spells in your graveyard currently? You do not. This is where I have to make a decision. I think I will do this. I'm going to activate Compulse, and I'm going to put Bandijo back in your hand.
Okay.
Because you've used enough cards from your hand, I don't think you can easily summon it out again. Okay, hand to the graveyard. Well, that's ironic. So now you can attack twice. So basically nothing really changed here for me, unfortunately. Yeah, that doesn't do anything. So we lose our Breakstar. I'm going to lose Astro Bio. Okay, well, you have a lot of back row. Unfortunately, not finding quite what I'm after. So this can attack twice, which means if I just try and go defensive against you, you'll probably get a direct attack on me. Alright, we'll activate Meanderful Rush. So I place a card from my hand on the bottom of my deck. So I think I'm going to place probably this. And then I can bring back just my Breakstar Cat, which has to come out in defense mode. We'll summon out my Rainbow Ice Star Cat, which is one of my new cards. So if I normal summon this card this turn and I have a face at monster with 200 defense other than this card on my field, I can send cards from the top of my deck to the graveyard equal to the number of face up level 7 or higher monsters on the field. And if a monster is sent to the graveyard, I can add up to 2 level 7 monsters with 200 defense to my graveyard to my hand. Now, there are currently 2 monsters that are level 7, so I can get 2, but I don't have any level 7s in the graveyard right now, so we're kind of hoping that we mill one. We'll activate the effect. Unfortunately, we hit 2 spells. That is that is the worst of everything. But now we can activate Breakstar. I probably should have used Breakstar first, really. It wouldn't have made any difference. But using Breakstar's effect, I can pop this. I do not, however, have enough attack points to actually kill you. So we'll go to battle, and then we can get in for 15, and then get in for 7. And that is the best I have. I don't believe I had any way to kill you there. Okay, Stealer comes down. Put card it to the graveyard, then if you send Psychic type monster to the graveyard, you can choose 1 face-up Psychic monster to the field and choose 2 tributes. I say you mill 1 card and you hit a psychic monster. I mill 2. I don't even need a beast, I just need any monster. Mine doesn't work. So this is Prophecy Phrase. We're going to get rid of that for Deadly Dirge.
So attack it.
Well, I hope your back row is something good, because we have the Stray Force.
Oh.
Yeah.
None.
It's one of those things where archetypes that have access to, like, the triple mirror force is always, like, it's either absolutely incredible or completely useless, right? Like, against fish, Stray Force is completely useless. But against a deck like this, or at least the cards that you've had so far, it's very, very strong. So we'll have to see if that makes a big difference going forward, or if you've got anything in the side deck to deal with it. Okay. 7, very good open. It's got Bandy Joe. You get 4 cards out of the hand. My hand, on the other hand, is not crazy strong. I don't think there's a reason to summon this. The question is, do I want to summon this? I don't think it's worth it, because I would only get 1 attack, and I don't think clearing 1 of your monsters is enough resources to deny. So we'll just pass. Landolin. 1, 2. We do find the Psychic Fusion, which is kind of spooky. Pay 1,000 life points, add an equip spell from your graveyard to your hand. What is your equip spell in your graveyard? Oh, you don't have one in there. Okay, yeah, that's fine.
EDOPro.
Send a wind psychic from hand to graveyard, add a Psychic Fusion or an equip spell from your graveyard, which you currently don't have.
Activate Psychic Fusion.
Okay, so we're gonna fuse 2 together and then not take an equip spell back because we don't have one.
Make a new fusion.
So this is Plandolin a la mode. So, continuous effect. If your fusion summon a level 8 or higher monster by the effect of fusion or psychic fusion, you can also use the psychic tempest in your graveyard as material if the materials on the field and graveyard are shuffled into the owner's deck. So this card on its own is an enabler. It's not actually crazy strong on its own. It's still a little bit spooky. This is fine. Okay, so send top 2 cards of your deck to the graveyard. They can place a fusion or psychic fusion from your graveyard on either the top or bottom of your deck. If you do, you can add a wind attribute psychic type monster, 1 fusion or 1 psychic fusion from your graveyard to your hand. That card is doing a lot.
Hoping to mill another Psychic.
It goes on top, so as long as we don't mill it, we'll draw it next turn.
Yeah, grab Vandalin.
Okay. But wait a minute, that will let you get your psychic fusion. So you're going to get Psychic Fusion, and then you're going to start fusing. I think I do this here. This might be a mistake, but I'm going to use Compulse, and I'm just going to hit the Plandolin a la mode here. Just in case this does stop you at any point. Those are top decks, aren't they? Fortunately, they're being shuffled.
All around. I know I can't activate Psychic Fusion.
Good.
But am I...
Riser! Right, card down. It's a monster. Okay. And then we still have a shitty 7. Did not just draw a pot of green, we shuffled the deck! Alright, Bluegrass Stealer. We hit the Psychic again. And we did not draw a boss monster as well. Oh my god! I'm getting sacked! Yeah, it's nothing about this. We take our 47 lumps, and we're not happy about it, but there's nothing we can do about it, so... I will start by activating Ship of 7 Treasures, and we're going to send Cat Claw Girl to the graveyard and draw 2 cards. So I'm going to activate Meanderful Rush. This will let me put a card from my hand at the bottom of my deck, and then I can bring back 2 monsters from the graveyard. So we're going to bring back Cat Claw Girl and Silver Eyes Star Cat. So Cat Claw Girl's pretty cool. I can special summon a beast-type monster with 200 defense from my graveyard face up to my field if I give up a card in my hand. And then if I special summon a normal monster, I can grab a fusion back. Now, unfortunately, I don't have any monsters in my graveyard, so none of them can be normal monsters, and there's no fusion in my graveyard. So Cat Claw Girl's not doing a ton right now by herself. Alright, we're going to summon out Rainbow Eyes Star Cat. So this is the same one as last time. I have other monsters with 200 defense, so I can use its effect, and I get to send cards to my deck equal to the number of level 7 or higher monsters on the field. So that's going to be 3. But go ahead and do this. Now, we didn't hit a 7 or higher, so I don't get to bring anything back, but that's fine. Then we're going to go ahead and activate Fusion. This will let me combine my 2 monsters together to create Star Cat Strania. So I can send 1 other card from my field to the graveyard. 1 face-up monster in my opponent's field loses 2200 attack and defense to the end of this turn. And then if I send a normal monster to the graveyard, to meet the requirement, I can pop a Spell Trap. Now, this is where the decision gets a bit funky, because losing 2200 means that I can get my Rainbow Eyes to clear something, and that might actually be what we go with. So, Plectrum has no effect now. He's a vanilla. Prophecy Phrase is currently turned off because we have Riser. So I'm not really sure what I want to send here. Either way, I think we're going to summon out my Iwakai Air Aries. We're going to activate Strania. We're going to send it to the grave, and I'm going to weaken... Yes, it'll be Prophecy Phrase. And then I get to pop one of your back row, so we're going to pop this one. Was the Magic Cylinder. Means the other back row is your Fusion spell. Then we're going to summon out Purple Eyes Star Cat, who unfortunately doesn't have an effect, because if it did, I could make my Strania be able to attack twice, but we can't do that. We'll go to battle phase. Then I will clear over this, and we will clear over this. And then we will have to just pass the turn. Robber him. Okay. Pay 1000 life points, add an equip spell from your graveyard to your hand, gain 400 attack. Goes to battle. Now, do we declare the attack is the question. Are declaring the attack, so I do get to use my Stray Force. Right, we'll activate Purple Eyes and get back Stray Force again. And I'll make it so that this can attack twice. We'll go ahead and tribute these 2 to summon out Cat Claw. This lets me summon out Golden Eyes. Oh, you don't have a monster, so I can't use it. Can't pop a back row, so I can't try and make this any safer. I mean, that's fine. I guess from this position then, we're just going to set, go to battle. We'll try and attack in with Strania. Okay, Jump Catch. When a person monster declares an attack, shuffle 2 to 4 psychic monsters from your graveyard into the deck, change the attacking monster to face down defense position, then if you select a monster in your graveyard, draw until you have 6 cards in hand? What? When did this card come out?
I'm not sure.
I don't think I've ever read this card before. So you're going to have 7 cards in hand?
No, 6 cards.
Yeah, but you'll draw a card for turn, right?
Oh, yeah, true.
Oh, that is actually catastrophic, because you're going to flip my guy down. If it was face up, it wouldn't matter so much. Wait, is it not face down defense? Oh, face up defense. I just read face, and my brain auto-corrected it to face down defense. Okay, well, that's a lot better. We'll swing in with Cat, and then we'll swing in with Cat Claw Girl. That wouldn't have been lethal, even if the attack had connected, but you have so many cards to work with. Well, you can fuse these 2 into Pandolin a la mode again. This time I can't interfere with it, which means you can fuse from your graveyard, which is horrifying. And
Any of these deal with back row.
Well, or give you protection, or flip one of my guys face down, or pop one of my guys.
Bandage of fusion.
Okay. This is draw a card, then this card gains attack equals the total number of cards in both players' hands times 500 at the end of your opponent's next turn. Then if you have exactly one card in your hand, you can destroy one card on the opponent's field. Okay.
So activate next card.
Okay, so double attack.
Then the blue there. The activate.
Draw and a pop. Are going to hit the Stray Force.
Go to battle. You have another Stray Force.
I mean, another Stray Force wouldn't do anything here. Well.
Oh,
So what? Wow. So it would have on that first attack. So what I thought you were going to do is pop one of my monsters, because that turns Stray Force off entirely. So if I did have a second copy, it wouldn't matter.
Oh, of course, you'd have. Yeah, you have to have 3.
Yeah, it's a weird stipulation that I don't. I didn't expect it
so
necessarily.
little. That...
Yeah, I do like the cats, but they are starting to feel a bit dated. But then again, I could possibly say the same about the wind psychics. But anyway, we have game 3 to play yet. Let's go and see who wins that. Right, we'll go first. Right, we'll normal summon Golden Eye Starcat. Then I'm going to normal summon Purple Eyes Starcat. Then I'm going to tribute both and summon out Dark Eyes Break Starcat. Then I'm going to set a card and end the turn. Oh.
Log in the open.
Don't draw a Pog when I've drawn a bad hand.
Repeat for Bandy.
Okay. We get a
That's been normal.
yeah, low level normal, and we boost our attack at the 4K. Oh, you did not just mill that off the top, bro.
Top. And I can add fiddle the ball.
I think I'm getting sacked a little bit again. Prophecy Phrase.
Pay 1,000 to inflict 200 damage to you.
I mean, it would unbrick me a little bit, so.
Nah, we'll just leave you as is.
Right. Yeah, there's no real point in doing that. So. Take our lumps. Half our life points are now gone. That is painfully bad draws. Okay, we will activate Ship of the Seven Treasures. We need to just really hope this gets us something. We'll just go Cat Claw and draw 2. I mean, this doesn't actually. Actually, no. This could potentially do stuff. All right, we'll summon Rainbow Eyes Starcat. Then we're going to summon out Golden Eyes Starcat. Then I'm going to go ahead and activate my Rage of the Beasts and pop your back row. Then I'm going to activate Rainbow Eyes Starcat. Oh, that's a pretty poor mill, but I can grab up to 2 cards back from the bin. We'll grab back Cat Claw. Now, if I summon out Cat Claw, I do not believe we have a fusion in the graveyard, so we can't do a fusion play. Alright, I will summon Silver Eye Starcat. I'll then tribute 2 and summon Cat Claw Girl. I'll activate Cat Claw Girl. We'll put this back, and then I'm going to bring back my Break Star. I can then activate Break Star, and this will let me pop your Battle Ballad. Then we go to Battle Phase, and we will attack with Break Star, and then get in for 37.
Oof.
And then we pass. I'm not okay with this.
Fiddle.
Okay.
Prophecy.
Okay.
Fiddle double.
Mm-hmm. This is the one that says destroy a monster.
And equip. Before all your monsters back into your deck.
That's lame. I like having my monsters where they are.
The monster in defense. Activate double Excalibur.
But how will you face Stray Force? Yeah, unfortunately we drew very poorly there, so I wasn't actually really able to do much of anything. I think the fact that I was able to do what I did and actually get you down to 28 was quite the accomplishment. So I'm reasonably happy with that. Unfortunately, we did brick a little bit in the open. But my question is, the other play I could have done would be not attack you at all. Pop your guy, leave all my 3 guys, and then just hope Stray Force is enough. But I was like, if you... Well, I mean, you destroyed a face at level 8 or lower monster on my field anyway, so it wouldn't have mattered, right? You would have just popped the card, then Stray Force is turned off either way. So I had a second Stray Force. So the other play I could have done would be not pop any of your guys, not put Catclaw Girl back in my hand, summon out 3 Wimps, and then just hope that my 2 copies of Stray Force are enough. But again, if you can just go into Prophecy Flail, you just always pop a monster, and then Stray Force gets turned off either way. So I feel like there was literally nothing I could do here. Unfortunately, I didn't get to show off. I don't remember when this fusion monster came out, but I have a fusion monster in my extra deck, which is a fusion of my 2 bosses, and it's called Stray Cat Ace Nyan Buster. So it has 100 more attack than the other fusions, which is a little bit of a tiny increase considering it's using a 7 or 2 7 stars to make it. Its effect is that it gains attack equal to the number of defense position monsters in my opponent's field times 800, and it has piercing. So it's like, if you have 3 set cards, it gains 24, so it goes to 54 with piercing, which I guess is nice, but like, is that better than like popping back row and reducing your attack and boosting my entire board? I don't know about that. But we didn't really get to see a ton of... It's one of those things where it feels a lot like the Beast Gear deck that I brought a few weeks back, in that the cats just feel a little bit outdated, and even though they have gotten some new support, I feel like it's not anywhere near enough. Arguably, I could have built the deck maybe a little bit better, but I think the only things I could really change would be to put things like Legend Strike in, or put things like Cosmos in, to just start popping your shit. And I was like, well, I kind of still want to play cats. And the cats do have a couple of like mini annoyances, I suppose, where like there's a lot of spell traps you want to be including. Obviously, you want to use your Stray Force. Even if you don't really like Mirror Force, it turns on Purple Eye Starcat. You want to use the Ship of the 7 Treasures because you want to empty your hand of your bosses and you want to get more consistency. You want to play your 3 copies of Fusion because this is again a Fusion deck that still uses Fusion. And you want to use the, I think it's Meowderful Rush, which brings back 2 of your cards from the graveyard because that sets up your Fusion plays, right? There's so many like mandatory spell traps that it's actually quite difficult to fit any extras in. As for your deck, it's a weird one. I don't feel like your deck felt overly impressive, but at the same time it felt like it was a bit stronger than my deck. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I didn't play against this and go like, oh man, you completely blew me out. I got completely destroyed by you doing really unfair things. It just felt like, yeah, this felt like a reasonably solid deck. It does feel a little bit luck dependent, because a lot of your cards are like, get Psyquip Fusion from the graveyard, get an Equip Spell from the graveyard, do this if everything's set up correctly. And a lot of the time it felt like you didn't have everything set up, but a couple of times it just didn't matter because you just milled what you needed to off the top, and it was like, well, I guess you're just doing this. But I think it's one of those decks that it kind of sums Psychic up to a T for me, and this is like ever since Psychic first came out in Rush Duels. You have to spin so many plates, and spinning those plates can be very fun and very rewarding, but it feels like you don't get a lot out of spinning those plates when you can get other decks that can just like do very little and get very rewarded.
Yeah.
So like, I think if you're into playing intricate decks and you like spinning plates, this is going to be a really strong, a really good pick. But if you're not into that sort of gameplay, if you're more like Unga Bunga, maybe it's not the kind of deck to choose. But this was a good one. GG, buddy.
GG.